What's good, y'all? It's Coffee on the vid. And y'all see WACK100 on that roof gone George Jefferson timing, right? Man, y'all remember Pusha T really put some emphasis on those bars, right? He said, roof gone George Jefferson, woo, or something like he threw a little Ric Flair in there. I don't know, man. That was a cold line, I thought. Comment if y'all thought so as well. But yeah, WACK 100 outside moving around, convertible top style, and you see who he bumped into. Pacman Jones, a larger than life personality, right? Like real talk, there was never a moment of chill or nothing going on in Pacman's career for a while, you know what I mean? Until later on in that man's career, you know what I'm saying? He kind of, things mellowed out and there wasn't all this off the field ish going on and everything. You know what I mean? Like he did indeed bounce back from all the off the field stuff and have a pretty, 12-year career and a hell of an athlete, hell of a corner. Man, y'all remember the play, what was it, against the Steelers? Was it 2015, 2016? Those squads were headhunting each other. Like Vontez Burfict almost bodied someone out there. For real, for real. But you see WACK100 says that's his favorite Cowboy. Like, I don't think WACK really knows ish about sports. Like, yeah, Pacman did play for the Cowboys, but for one season, he was injured at one point, right? Like, how many games, someone off the top of their head, did he play that season? It was, injury. He was suspended a couple games that season. And all in all, things were pretty much over before they really got going. You know what I mean? But WACK out here talking about his favorite Cowboy. Maybe he just was saying that as a shot to Cowboy of All Money In. Comment and let me know what y'all think. As that No Jumper interview he did, I caught the bulk of it, but not all of it. And I'm hearing he took some shots at WACK. So what do y'all think? Is he indeed trying to be slick here and diss him? Like, WACK's real low key like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's either yelling, cussing someone out, talking greasy, saying we got to run fades, all that extra ish, putting it on his neighborhood or turned up on Clubhouse. He's either like doing it like that, extra loud, or he's trying to be extra slick and all quiet with it. That's just how he moves. So comment and let me know if you guys think what that's about. But getting back to talking about Pacman, as I stated, and it's no secret to everyone, Pacman had a lot of drama, investigations, all kinds of ish, just as, the NFL wondered, how could someone be in the wrong place at the wrong time so much? As it seemed like anytime Pacman was up in a strip club early on in his NFL run, fights were just jumping off, maybe some shots were fired, like ish was getting crazy, you know what I mean? But I want to speak about, I guess, let me know if you guys would call this a major finesse move business-wise that Pacman did during the suspension. Not the couple games with the Cowboys, the 2007 full year suspension as things, were coming to an end with the Tennessee Titans. You know what I mean? This is only a couple years into his NFL career, and he had already been involved in a lot of different incidents. Hell, 2 weeks before camp, he caught a case for vandalizing. Ultimately, that case was thrown out. It was just some unfounded allegations. Then in 2006, he had a situation where he got pulled over, knocked with some weed, allegedly swung on the cop, caught a felony for that, beat the weed case, but ultimately took some kind of plea when it came to the assault on an officer, got dropped down to something. I think he got like probation or something like that, pled no contest, I believe. Then shortly after that, also in '06, at a gas station where a shooting jumped off, they were looking into Pacman as being involved, but in the end they said they just believed he was a witness. Then 2 incidents practically back to back in 2006, he got into altercations where he spit in a girl's face at a club, and somewhere else outside of a club. I don't know, like literally, do y'all remember back then? Like it seemed like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Pacman was killing it on the field, but he just couldn't seem to stay out of trouble. Like literally, as I stated, the league said, how could someone be in the wrong place at the wrong time all the fucking time? Because after these different situations, like I said, being accused of spitting in a woman's face, reportedly the woman did it to him too, being accused of swinging on a cop, possessing weed, vandalism-ish, you know, being drunk and disorderly-ish like that, things started to get really wild, where he was involved in 2 different incidents in strip clubs, one in Vegas, one in Atlanta. The Vegas incident, you know, is the infamous incident where they said Pacman made it rain. Don't that almost remind you of the Diddy Shine situation where some dude was making it rain, telling Diddy, like, you ain't the only one with money, and then, you know, Shine ended up airing the place out. That's the short version of the story. But Pacman, you know, reportedly made it rain, got into a fight. A bouncer ended up becoming paralyzed in this case. Like, he was, Pacman was charged with some serious crimes, coercion and something else, some felonies. I believe he got hit hard civilly for it, but in the end, again, he ended up getting out of this when it came to the case, pleading no contest to something, and just ended up with probation. But it was wild after the Atlanta shooting, another shooting in a strip club. There were people claiming that Pacman had paid someone to shoot somebody, you know, over a beef. There was people talking about Pacman was running around with a dangerous gang, you know what I mean? Gang members and stuff like that. And there was even a dude that had gang ties that snitched on Pacman, claiming about him putting up the bag, you know, for the shooting to take off, right? But you guys see what I'm saying? It was just crazy with Pacman. I just kind of wanted to go down memory lane a little bit. But at this time in 2007, he's managed to slip out of all these different situations, have his freedom, you know, get hit with the NFL suspension for a year, vowed to appeal it and fight it, put an apology out to the fans, but he ended saying, you know, fuck it. I'm going to take my suspension and I'm going to find a way, another way to get me a bag. And this is what I'm talking about. If y'all think this was a finesse move or not, Pacman jumped into the world of professional wrestling. Now, for all the pro wrestling fans, I'm really curious to hear about what you guys think about Pacman's time in TNA or Impact Wrestling. But yeah, man, he had about 12 appearances. Reportedly, he was getting $25,000 an appearance. And those, we're just saying appearances. When it came to actually wrestling, he only wrestled a few matches. And real quick, I just want to point out, you guys remember D'Angelo Williams? He also wrestled in TNA, and he really was like, could work, like wrestled some good matches, you know. Like when Pacman and his time in pro wrestling get compared, people always say D'Angelo put Pacman to shame. But a big part of why Pacman's time wasn't really about it. It's like, don't get me wrong, it was entertaining and it brought them a lot of publicity and whatnot, but ultimately, like, he couldn't wrestle. That's why I say this was the ultimate finesse move, the ultimate hustler move, because, you know, I believe he had already signed the deal with the Cowboys at this point, or maybe he was still technically a Titan. I can't remember, but the NFL was saying you can't wrestle. They didn't want him getting hurt. I mean, so more or less he couldn't make contact. So you'll see some of the different clips, like where he is throwing money in the one dude's face, that's actually AJ Styles or whatever, and then his tag team partner on Team Pacman, Ron Killings, you may know him as R-Truth nowadays in the WWE, rolls him up, or there's, you know, come up from behind someone, hit him with a leg scissors or something like that. Or in like the really big match he had wrestling against Kurt Angle and Sting bumped into Kurt Angle's wife, you know what I mean? And when Pacman and Sting ended up, Pacman gets tagged in and ends up face to face with Sting, you know, his tag team partner Kurt Angle turns on him and hits him with the angle slam, and easy pin 1, 2, 3. Pacman and R-Truth, Team Pacman get the W. So pretty much he got a $250,000 for 12 appearances, a handful of matches, not really making any contact, and you know, that, hey, that was some good money to hold him over for that year while he was suspended, right? What do you guys think about that? Is Pacman Jones the ultimate hustler for making that move? And again, all the wrestling fans, I really want to hear from y'all, and let me know if you think it was whack or if you think it was all right. Jump in the comments. And yeah, man, what do you guys think about all this? You know, do you remember that era where Pacman, just every time you turned on the TV or the news, there was something wild going on? But again, he moved on later in his career with the Bengals. Still a competitive player. Had a good career. Minor incidents and stuff like that, like he got in a little scrap in the airport, but nothing like how it was early on, you know. And then he had 1 year with the Broncos at the tail end of his career. And don't forget about the Cowboy whack-ish as well. In other news, y'all, every year when these hip-hop lists come out, especially Brian B. Miller's list, like that, in my opinion, seems to be the list that gets recognized the most, and you know, rappers seem to care about the most if they're left out, or are on there where their ranking is. And you see he put out this new list for 2022 so far. Number 1 is kind of hard to see, but that says Kendrick Lamar. Obviously his new album's out, doing numbers and everything. People are loving it. Very creative piece of art. Pusha T at 2, J. Cole, Kodak at 4. Whoa. What do y'all think about that? I gotta disagree. Boldy James, Vince Staples, Dirk, Lil Baby, Jack Harlow at number 9. Yo, I'm calling shenanigans on this list like a motherfucker. Like, Jimbo, don't be mad at me. I mean, we keep talking about this. Again, we can agree to disagree on things, and I know my bro Jimbo feels that way as well. But don't get me wrong. I like Jack Harlow can flow. But number 9 on the list, I don't know, man. And again, his album that came out is just whack, to put it simple, plain and simple, you know. And then 21 Savage at 10, who, hey, I like 21's music, but has he even been actively, like, putting out new music? I don't know, man. I'm calling shenanigans like a motherfucker on this list. But, you know, Westsidegunn, part of Griselda, who, if y'all ain't know, if you never tune into my channel, I fuck with these guys heavy. They're some of the dopest in the game. You see, he has a big problem with this. He says, this dude personally didn't put Benny or Conway. I mean, guys, how is Benny not on that list? Real talk, Benny's been killing it. I always point that out. Conway and Benny, you know, Conway originally was my favorite artist with Griselda, but, you know, Benny's really career, his grind, what he's done has been amazing, and I feel like his flow's gotten better as well, you know. And then after that, someone said, you see stuff like this and you have to ask, what is he doing this for? What is the agenda? Because clearly this isn't for the love of hip-hop. And Westsidegunn says, clickbait, duh. He knows by not putting them on there will give it the attention it is, just like when I just tweeted it. That's exactly what he wants for the convo. I know for a million fucking facts this is intentional. Ain't that right, B. Dot? And you see Conway put, this is a great list with the praying hand signs. I don't know if he's just, you know, being funny, passive aggressive. We've kind of come to learn Conway has a different type of sense of humor, you know. But that list is BS. I don't agree with it. I'm fucking with that. Westsidegunn spoke up here and is like, yo, this is some BS, straight up. So comment, guys, let me know what you think about the list, about Benny, about Griselda, about Westsidegunn speaking up. Did B. Dot do this for clickbait? Let's break it all down below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to sub to the channel. Stay tuned. More content coming. It's coffee. I'm about here, y'all. Peace.